And then we can share it right then. All right.
Sorry. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're back again live. Another Sunday conversation, and we're just so happy to be back with you this weekend. And we're just so excited about the program that we have today. So, with no further words saying, I'm gonna just say a word of prayer to start the program off. So, let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father God, we thank you again to bring us here for another weekend of inspiration and success story. We ask you right now, Father Jesus, to let your Holy Spirit lead us, Father God. Help us to have a great program. Help us to give us the knowledge, the thoughts, dear God, and just to speak from the heart, dear God, and just to touch all the viewers that's all over the world. Father Jesus, you know our hearts, dear God, and we just want to continue to do the work that you put us on this earth to do, dear God, and it's to put you first in everything we do. And as we come together again today, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. So, guys, we were supposed to start out with the video, but I'm not going to be able to show the video because of some last minute change. It's on another settings. So we're just gonna have to go without the video. So let me let you open up the floor, Ian, just to welcome the viewers also, and then Rochelle will just introduce herself, and then I'll just come back with the word, an inspirational word from the book. We got the author here today, so my inspiration today. I've been reading her book all day today, so I just thought that it was appropriate for me to give you something from the book that I'm inspired by. So I'll hand it over to you, Ian.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon again to all our fans or viewers, wherever you guys are watching from. We just want to welcome you another week to the platform, Real Talk with Ian and Eian. And this week we have the pleasure of sharing the platform with no other than a champion athlete, an author, and an entrepreneur, Miss Rochelle Farquharson. We want to just welcome you to the platform. We can feel your energy from a distance. So we just want to welcome you today to this platform, Real Talk with Ian. Welcome, Rochelle.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and I am truly happy that you guys took the time to invite me to your platform. It is truly an honor to be here. So thank you very much.
All right, awesome, guys. So, guys, we want to kick the program off. I'm just fascinated and inspired by this book. I mean, I really believe after the program, I'm have to get me a copy, because the more and more I read, it's the more and more I want to read more. And I'm not the person that like to read a lot, but I'm drawn by inspiration. So, if I'm reading something, I believe that if the it pulls me in, so that speaks a lot of volume. But what I want to share with you, my inspirational today is just a little passage from the book, "Oh God, See Me," and it's a journey that discovers self-love, self-esteem, and self-confidence through the eyes of God. So the description of what I want to read is. It will start like, have you ever heard or believed that you aren't good enough? That's unworthy and not valuable. That's you are unlovable. Maybe I've been through a relationship, a partnership, or a other encounter that depleted your self-esteem and confidence. And now that you're struggling to feel great about yourself again, well, you are not alone. There's currently an epidemic of low esteem, self-sabotage, and low self-value all across the globe. Comparison, persuado, forgive me, social expectation and toxic relation have led us to a destructive path and self-devaluation. thus making us lose sight of who God created us to be. We then proceed to a morph with the hope of fitting into a pop culture standard, and in the process we lose our Christ-given identity and unique quality. Guys, I want to share that with you. I thought that was powerful. I could go on and read, that one of our favorite passages, Psalms 139, verse 14, that says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That's some powerful word. So I just really inspired by the book. I'm just so delighted to actually have here, and she's going to give us a lot more details and some inspirational from the book, some of her, where she got her. Obviously, if you read the book, you'll see that this is a story that she wanted to share. Some of it probably been from experience herself. So we'll find that out later. But before we get into the book, guys, as you guys know that we want to let you know a little bit about Rochelle. And so we're going to just back up, and we just want to give you a description, and she's going to share with you where her journey starts. Obviously, we know that she went to STETHS, but we just want to know what part of St. Elizabeth she's from and what was the inspiration for her to go to STETHS. So here you go, Rochelle.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So I am from Warminster, St. Elizabeth, and that's about maybe 12-15 minutes outside of Santa Cruz. So I live fairly close to STETHS. So that's where I was raised. I went to Austin Primary School down in Myersville. So that's where my roots come from. But I started STETHS back in 2005. I wanted to go to STETHS because, believe it or not, 5 of my siblings went to STETHS before me. So it was kind of a trend thing. But aside from that, I heard about, the great things that happened at STETHS, and that inspired me to want to go there. That was actually my first choice when I took the GSAT in grade 6, and I passed for STETHS. So I was very excited about that. But anyone who knows me, and I have plenty classmates, hopefully they're watching. But I started my track and field journey, and I was at STETHS, of course, and I was discovered by Mr. Milton Brown in yes, Mr. Brown in my PE class. So one day we're at PE class, and Mr. Brown wanted us to run a 100-meter race, and of course I won my heat, and then he was like, okay, you have talent, and that's how I began my journey in track and field at STETHS. And it has been a wonderful journey. I learned a lot. I met a lot of great people. I had a lot of great mentors from STETHS. And, I wanted to do something great and become a mentor myself to anyone who needs help in any area. So I'm offering my services just as how many teachers have offered their services to me. So STETHS has morphed me into the woman that I am today. So I am grateful for that.
All right. Well, we're going to get into a lot more details with STETHS, but we just want to hear the journey. So, as you know that, we always excited about our past student, and we're very honored, especially with the work and integrity. So we believe that the foundation was set. So we're going to spend a little time, and Eian is going to, follow up with the questions. I did, plenty of questions. So I'm gonna hand the podium floor over to him.
All right, Rochelle, as I say, just welcome again to the platform. It is just fun to have you here. I can tell you one thing: you bring a lot of energy. I basically, from last night into this morning, just knowing that you're gonna be coming on today, I wake up with when I say a vast amount of energy, I feel like I could go outside and push a 10 truck. That's how much energized I am just knowing that you'll be on here tonight. And with that said, I just feel that energy. I know you radiate that energy. You can see it in your group. You just radiate it. So great energy. So, before I even get into it itself, so I know that your community, Warm Mister, is already watching because I have one of my cricket friends here, and before I even put up the post, he texted me, the man, that one is for my community. He was so he was so proud of you. And then before I put it up again, I see like two more of my close friends, and they were like mentors to me. They're like, that's a great lady. All of a sudden, my college batchmate, now who have teach at STETHS, she texted me, that's my student. And I realized, right there and then, that guess what? You have lived a good life. And furthermore, we put up a posting which Eian was gonna show earlier, with Richie Innocent in the background singing, and
Yeah.
just some of your photos going across, and that have reached over 6,000 plus viewers. That tell me something again about you as an athlete and as a person. So, with all that energy, I want you to take to your community and how much of influence you are there and who influence you. I know it have to be your parents. So just tell us a little bit about the community of Warminster, where you're from, and your parents who brought up such a beautiful young lady who is empowering.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Warminster has been an integral part of my growth. Beginning, of course, with my parents. They taught me great principles that I live by today. My siblings as well, and also there are some pillar in the community that I learned a lot from. And the first one would be for me personally would be the librarian, Miss Susie, one of my favorite people, Miss Suzanne Levy. And I used to go to the library every summer. Every summer, I read a lot, and she encouraged me, and that was my starting place for learning. And my dad made sure that, hey, all of us, all of myself and my siblings, that we were integrated in that environment, specifically for our education, and he pushed that onto us. He pushed us and supported us in that way, and he allowed us to go to the library, and that's where I met tons of people. I grew a lot, I read a lot, and that was a huge part of it. And just people in the community, surrounding community, they were supportive. And even when I was an athlete, I was competing for STETHS, they were cheering me on. They would encourage me when they saw me in the streets. That, even my church, Warminster New Testament Church of God, that was a huge part as well of not just my spiritual growth. They supported me. My pastor, Pastor Kenneth Adams, and his wife, and every church member, they were very supportive. So without that, I wouldn't be who I am today. So that they were behind me, and they still are behind me. So I'm grateful for that.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Well said there. So, I'm gonna let Eian take it into steps, the athlete, getting into steps itself. So, get back to you.
All right. Well, welcome back. Well, I could tell that I am not from St. Elizabeth, so obviously Eian is the original St. Elizabeth man, and he making a point to do it to let us know about the community, just to go a little bit back, from before STETHS. So I'm happy for that. I apologize that we skipped that most important grassroots area, but I'm just so excited to talk about STETHS that that went to head. So just let's start out first. Just tell us what year did you go to STETHS, and how many years you spent at STETHS, and what did you study as a student athlete?
Absolutely. So I went to STETHS in 2005, and I left in 2010. So, it was 5 years that I was there. I did mostly sciences. from 7th to 9th grade, we did, general studies. And then after the 9th grade, you decide what you're going to do after, which I chose the sciences. So chemistry, biology, physics. I can say I wasn't too great at physics, but, I enjoyed the sciences. So.
Okay. All right. So you spent 5 years at STETHS, and you was a science student. So
Yes.
that's a little bit about our academic, and then we just touch a little bit about the athletics part of it. So when you get to STETHS, did you get into what year did you start? Did you join the track team? And just let us know some of your accomplishment as a student athlete at STETHS.
Absolutely. So I actually joined the track team the very same year I went to STETHS. So Mr. Milton Brown was my physical education teacher. And I think it was about maybe October. It was Mr. Brown and Mr. Mr. Philip Davy they were coaching the girls track and field team at the time. And as I said, Mr. Brown discovered me in PE class when he asked us to run the 100-meter race. And I decided to join, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks later after that. So that's kind of how I got into the track and field. And my sister, who was there before me, she was also on the track and field team. So that encouraged me and inspired me to join as well. So a little bit about my accomplishments in track and field. So I thought I did pretty well. So I represented the STETHS, and Jamaica at the Carifta Games, at champs as well. I won countless medals for STETHS in the long jump and triple jump. So I started out actually doing multiple events. So I started in the sprints. I did the 100, 200, and I also did the long jump. But I didn't find too much fortune in the sprints, so I decided to try the jumps, which I recognized that I was a lot better in the jumps than I was sprinting. So Mr. Brown had me focus on the jumps, and I found, I had a great time representing STETHS at champs, a great time representing STETHS and Jamaica at Carifta Games. I competed at the World Youth Games, Pan Am Games. So I did pretty well in that area. So yeah.
Okay. But before I talk a little bit about the tradition of your family with your sister, I'm just going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ian. So I just want to know, how tall were you at STETHS when you just got there? Do you remember?
I can't say I remember the specific height. I know I was pretty tall. I'm 5'10" now, but so probably maybe 5'7", 5'8" at the time. So I was pretty tall.
Okay. Well, we got another tall man in studio. He's the second tallest man that I know at STETHS behind Delroy Pang. So, I believe Pang was close to 7 feet, and Ian was he probably about 6'8". So we'll bring him in as the tall man for the 2000 millennials.
All right, Rochelle. So, the fact that we're on STETHS, now we're going to touch back close to the academic, because, by posting this evening broadcast that will be coming on, a few of the STETHS teachers would have reached out to me, and they were proud to have you as a student. And in that, I just want to have a question coming from that side of it. How much did the teachers at STETHS impacted your life journey? And is there a special teacher? And all of us have our little special teacher who maybe have pulled us to the side and give us a few little motivational thoughts. So while at STETHS, how much those teachers have impacted your life journey to be who you are today? Was your teacher, your favorite teacher or anything?
Yes. My teachers at STETHS, they played an integral role. Like, they were paramount in who I am today, because everyone begins somewhere. Everyone needs to be poured into and spoken into, and I had several teachers do that for me. Specifically, Mrs. Monteith. I think she's Miss Nelson now, but she was my Spanish teacher. The funny thing is, her and I started out with a bit of a conflict, and after a while, she became the person who spoke into me the most. And of course, Miss Powell, food and nutrition teacher, she's amazing. She spoke into my life. She saw who I was, not just the track star, not just a popular student, but she saw me. She saw who I was, and she even influenced my major in college, because I had a conversation with her before I left STETHS, and she actually led me down a path that that helped me during my college years. But honestly, I've had several teachers. I can't call everyone's names right now, but I've had several people speak into my life. Mr. Keith Wellington was one of them. Even though he wasn't a teacher, he was a principal at the time. He helped me in many ways. Mr. Brown as well, Mr. Milton Brown. They poured into me so much that I am so grateful that I met these people. I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to cross paths with them, because I don't think I would have the knowledge or the connections or be who I am without those people. So.
All right. So, all right. There also, was there any other interest other than track and field? I know at STETHS, it's a technical school, so it offers a lot of other things from cadets straight across. So, as you say, food and nutrition. Was there any other passion other than athletics that you developed at STETHS that we may not have been paying attention to?
Honestly, I can say I was totally into track and field. Like, that was my one thing that was, I was that good at it that I was like, okay, I'm going to put all my focus into it, because I know it's going to take me somewhere. I had an interest, I think, in drama, and at the time it was Miss Clark. I think she's married now, but Miss Clark, in the 9th grade, I was very into drama and acting. At the time, I didn't pursue it after that, but I believe that it was a passion of mine, and that ties into my writing today. That ties into my imagination of how I can conjure things in my mind and put it on paper. So that was, I wasn't aware that I was into writing at the time, because I was so focused on track and field. But now that I can look back and be introspective, I can see how those different areas tie into what I do today.
All right, Eian, back to you, man.
All right, there. Well, I can't wait. So now the journey has started at STETHS. She is attend STETHS in 2005, and she's balancing her training and her schoolwork. So kind of just tell us a little bit, how was your experience being like a student and an athlete? I know that just let us know a little bit about your commute to school. How was that like to get up in the morning and to travel to STETHS and to go back home and then to train? I mean, that got to be was a little challenging sometime, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And at that time, I tried to create this balance. And I can't say that I was great at it, but I did the best that I could. Since Warminster is not that far from Santa Cruz, it's like 12 to 15 minutes drive, but it was a challenge at times, because I had to wake up at like 6 in the morning, get my chores done before school. And, there were times when the transportation wasn't that reliable. And I had to make it to school, and some days they locked me out. I was on the other side of the gate because I showed up late with the guard at the gate, and we had to wait till Mr. Wellington come down to let us in. But I tried my best to create that balance, and balancing schoolwork with track and field, and having to travel on the weekends for meets, and going out to champs for a week, and things like that, and having to travel to different countries for competition and stuff like that, such as Carifta, Panams, etc. It was very challenging. I missed school sometimes, and I had to make up in the work. I had to come back and, find my teachers, find my classmates, and, get notes and stuff like that. So it was difficult, but I had to learn over the 5-year period to create that balance in there.
Okay, awesome. So, guys, that's listening, all the fans. She from an early age was learning to balance, chores and training and school. So, can you reflect and tell us now all that you've been through, like getting prepared for school and the training? How is that make a difference in your life today? I mean, I just wanted to, since we're at STETHS, I just wanted you to summarize how being at STETHS, on the track team and at the institution, how does that play a role, in your life today?
Absolutely. So from that point in time, doing many different things taught me time management. I had to learn how to manage my time, and that plays a huge role in my life right now, because I am doing, and even not just now, but when I went on to college, because I went to college also as a student athlete, and I was involved in several different things. So that taught me time management. That taught me priorities. I had to prioritize things that are, most important, and then figure the rest of the things out later. So it taught me time management. It taught me values and principles. It taught me teamwork, community. It taught me, how to value others and their time, value my time. And trust me, without that, I wouldn't have the balance that I do now in life, because I do several different things. So that taught me from that age, hey, you have to learn how to prioritize. You have to learn how to create time for everything and get things done.
Okay, awesome. And we're gonna touch a little bit about your spirituality. We're leaving that for a little bit. We wanna get enough of STETHS before we move on. So we just wanna, for me personally, I wanna ask you, what was one of your memories that stood out to you? I mean, during your high school experience, just going to school, just share us one of your most memorable memories that you could remember, that it could be with a student, a teacher, screwy, or a vendor.
Like, it's the experience that I have, they're too much to count, and I had many great memories at STETHS, and I couldn't summarize it right now in this short time, but I can say for me, it's being on the team at STETHS, and I'm going to speak outside of track and field, but this has been the team of girls that were there at the time that I had the pleasure of being teammates with. That has been the most impactful part for me, because track and field was a big part of my life at STETHS. It brought me to people. It brought me, again, Mr. Brown was a huge part of that, Mr. Wellington as well. But it's just that community that I had with those girls, who I formed friendships with, that taught me friendship, that taught me how to rely on other people and how to lean on them when we were going through tough times, when we were losing, when we weren't winning, when we had conflict, when we had things that we couldn't deal with on our own. I had somebody to lean on. And in the classroom, again, Miss Karine Nelson, she played a huge role. Miss Powell, again. I had those moments where I didn't have direction, and those two ladies specifically helped me in a way to see myself and see what I wanted to become. And again, I have too many experiences. And Screwy, oh my gosh, he had the best snacks. He had the best snacks that I would get right before going to class. So I had and the ladies in the tuck shop, Miss Janet and Miss Fagan and Mr. All the people who were in the tuck shop at the time. Miss Sharon, all the grounds people, they were amazing. They supported me, in track and field. They came to watch they cheer you on not just me, but all of us in the track team. So I'm so grateful for that support and all the teachers who supported me in the classroom. I had so many experiences, and I'm very grateful for that.
All right, awesome. So before I got one more question before I turn you back to Ian. Just let us know some of your teammates, because you speak highly of your teammates during your time. Just share with us some of your teammates that you remember that was around during your time at STETHS.
Yes, yes. Girls like Shani Smith, Swain Somers, Kanisha Baker, Peter Gay Reed, and Mr. All the roles that Mr. and Mrs. Rose. Well, I forgot those people. They were amazing. Um, who else? There were so many people, and my sister as well, who was on the track team. Tanisha Edmond. You had Crystal Williams. And several of them are on Facebook, friends on Facebook right now. There were a lot of people, Shanti Smith, even girls who were younger than I was, who were on the team. It's not just people who are older that influenced me, but younger girls as well. There are plenty, but these are the people I can roll off the top of my head right now.
All right, that's fine.
If I didn't call your name, but yeah.
Well, guys, just know that you know, she truly talked about her friends at STETHS, her teammates, you know. So if you didn't hear your name call, yeah, you know, don't feel like she forgot about you, because I sometimes been through that where you know, I've been to so much different journey, and you know, every now and then you know, thank God for like good friends like Steve Powell and those guys, because they're the one that helped me out sometime, you know, just to say, Ian, we click. You remember this or remember that? So, you know, they're friend. That's how the good friendships are. So I don't feel bad. So yeah, with that, with you know, that kind of I might have one or two more questions with STETHS, and then we're gonna move on. But let Ian share his thoughts.
All right, so Rochelle, you know, I'm leaving most of the athletics question to Ian, you know, because you know we know he's an Olympian, you know, he's
Right.
very passionate about track and field. So I don't want to get down too much into it, but one of the question I wanted to ask you is that into the overseas part of your life, was it that you get a track and field scholarship, and how was it in terms of transitioning coming out of Jamaica or culture and everything into the USA? Because I know you come here, you still continue that athletic, which you will pull out some of those. But how hard was it transitioning into the USA? You know, as a student athlete, and basically was it athletic scholarship that you came here on in terms of your academic and everything?
Yes, yes. So I did get a full scholarship. I went to Mississippi State University, and again, my sister was there because we went to all the same schools. So she was already there ahead of me. So that softened the blow quite a bit. And for the transition, it was a transition. Let me say that it was a bit of a culture shock for me, going from Santa Cruz to Mississippi. But again, there were people there ahead of me who I knew, so I didn't have that much of a struggle to fit in or to just feel at home, because I already had family. I already had people who knew me before I went to school. Again, SETS prepared me for that transition because, again, of the different things that I had to manage. So moving into the role of student athlete at college, while the classes were different, while I studied something different, the time management that I learned, the friendship that I learned, the community that I learned prepared me tremendously to move into something greater. So that helped me quite a bit.
Oh, okay, we turn it right back to Ian.
All right, guys. Since you know, we're moving along to the next chapter of her career, she basically, as I said, she has got a scholarship, and I'm going to guess it was 2010 to Mississippi State University, which her sister was already a student at Mississippi State. So she competed with the likes of, I could remember D'Angelo, Cherry,
Yes.
And of course, also, so we're just going to talk a little bit about your accomplishment. We also know you was a SEC champion while at Mississippi State. So you was on destined for greatness, and we're going to get to that part. When I said you're still on your destiny, but in terms of your athletic career, I know that it came a point when, you know, then you're going to share with us what was, you know, the difference for you to say, well, I'm going to retire from track and, you know, and then just focus on other things. So just tell us a little bit about while at Mississippi State, what was that like? What did you study? And, you know, just share a little bit of your accomplishment while you was a student.
Absolutely. Yes. So when I went to Mississippi State University, my major was clinical exercise physiology, so kinesiology. I wanted to be a physical therapist, which I am not today. That was that was my goal. But I'm in something different now. But my time at Mississippi State was, looking back now, I couldn't see it then, but having the time to be introspective, it was very important that I went there. I didn't see it then as a 17 going on 18-year-old. But my time at Mississippi State taught me much more than I could ever imagine. And you know, when I went there, it was quite a bit of a struggle to integrate to some extent into that team life, because, you know, a different country and stuff like that. But in terms of my accomplishments on the track, it didn't hinder me at all. My freshman year, I was SEC champion, you know, SEC champion field athlete of the year. So I went in and I accomplished something very quickly in that time, because I went the spring of 2011. So, and I started competition right away. And I did pretty well for myself. However, you know, I went through injuries, I went through, you know, roadblocks, obstacles, but, you know, I overcame. And I was 3-time SEC champion. I was All-American athlete. While I was there, went back and competed for Jamaica at the Pan Am Games. So I did pretty well for myself on the college circuit. So that being said, after graduation, I left Mississippi, and I thought that I wanted to continue in athletics, but I realized that, you know, track and field, while I love track and field and still love track and field, there's a time and a place for it, and it brought me where it was supposed to. And I moved to California, and that was about maybe four years ago, and I decided to get back into track and field for a while, and I trained again for a year. But then I got injured, and I decided that, hey, this is going to be the end of it for me. And I realized that track and field had a place in my life. It brought me from, you know, Warminster to STETHS to Mississippi to, you know, all over the world. And I loved it and I appreciated it. But it became a time where it was, okay, I'm moving on to something else. So an injury brought an end to my track career.
So guys, you know, she graduated from college, and as we all know, that it's another transition trying to be a athlete when, you know, you basically have to support yourself, you know, and train, and you're not like on a scholarship, and, you know, without a sponsor, you know, we know sometime, you know, that could be some obstacles, you know, and then it's the same thing with injuries. You know, you pretty much got to pay for a lot of things out of pocket. So I do understand, you know, that sometime, you know, the way things kind of played out, you know, I do believe that, you know, you're an Olympic caliber athlete, and, you know, you know, could have make it, you know, to the Olympics, and, you know, and make yourself proud and maximize your potential. You know, I somewhat, you know, wanted to ask you, how difficult was that decision for you? You know, when you finish college and then you go through those challenges with injury, and I know that something that you overcome now. But just bring us back and just let us know how difficult was that for you. And I know you speak a lot about in your book in regard into overcoming obstacles. For different reasons. It could be somebody, a relationship, or a friend, or somebody just that doesn't speak positive of you, and that sometimes could affect you. What was the challenge is that really that you say that when you transition into when you was trying to be, and then how difficult was it for you to walk away?
Absolutely, yes. So if you look in the 2010 yearbook, you will see that my what I wanted to be was a professional athlete. That was
Ah,
my goal. I wanted to go to the Olympics, and that was still a goal when I was in college. So it was extremely difficult for me when it was time for to hang up my spikes. When it's time to say goodbye to track and field, it brought me honestly through a place of depression, because I don't think people understand the difficulty of transitioning from something that you did all your life to something that you don't know. Transitioning to the unknown. It's very scary, and it took me several years to really come into agreement with, okay, I am moving on to my purpose. What is next for Rochelle? It was difficult because track and field had become my identity. It became something that was so ingrained in me. It was like second nature, that when it came time to move on, it was like separating from myself. So, and that transition really took me to a place of self. It was rediscovering myself. Who am I now that I'm not an athlete? Who am I now that I've left what I've known all my life? Um, and it took God. I'm gonna be honest with you. It took my faith and belief in God and who God said that I was to bring me through that dark place in my life. And it took a while, but after really sitting down and contemplating and writing down what is it that I want to do with myself now, that took me to a point of confidence. That took me to a point where I can say, okay, this is something that I want to do, and I learned to accept it after a while. So it took a minute, but I think I'm beyond that now.
well, I just want to share something personally. I know that I retired from track and field in 2008, and it was a very hard decision for me, knowing that I still want to continue to run. I mean, I think like when you do track, sometimes it can get to the point where it become like a disease, where you just don't want to let it go, and so it's like a constantly fight to say, look, I want to stop now, but there's something telling, man, I know I still could do it. So I know that it's not easy, and I do believe that that's where mentoring and having some post retirement, because everybody know I got people that retire, know people retire from jobs 2 or 3 times, because when they're retired and they probably go back home, life is not what it is, so they went back on the retirement. So it's the same thing with sports. I mean, if you do something all your life, then it's me at this point in my life. Really, literally I love to stay active. So I believe that I will stay active all my life, because I kind of chill out for a little bit, but I transition into making being active a lifestyle, for me, just find different things, biking, hiking, and riding. And I know I've read in your blog that you is an outdoor lover also, so before we
Yes.
get into a little bit about you're presently what you're doing now, with all the journey, the different chapter from STETHS to Mississippi State to go to California to try and train, and just to where you really lean on your faith, during times where you was just, not feeling your best, or, what you was experiencing, so I know that got to be a transition. So I see the woman that you are today. So obviously you put some good work in, and you are reaping the fruit right now for the work, and you're still on this beautiful journey. And I believe with all my heart that you're going to be blossom into bigger things. So we that's the main reason we want to support you. We really find that with what you're doing, it's just a matter of time before you get it on a bigger platform. So just want to encourage you about from that part from me personally. So before we get into well, we're gonna get into what you're doing now. I'm gonna I'm gonna let Eian get into that chapter first. For the viewers.
Okay, Rochelle. So I'm just here listening your journey, what you have been through, overcome, and everything. Highly motivated athlete, I would say you are, very humble so far. I get that from you. Very disciplined. I get that from you, in everything. I would just want to ask this question before I even get into the nitty gritty of where you are now. But you have gotten thus far. We hear you get through state. You got through Mississippi. You get over those hurdles. If you should have an out of body experience, you're able to look right back at Rochelle and see the journey to where you are now. Is there anything that you would have changed? And if so, what would that be? Right? And you could also answer this question within there too. I know you've been through tough times, so you mentioned that. But in those tough times, where do you go for inspirations? You have a multiple question right there, and then come back over.
Right, right. So if I can look back, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing, because when you're becoming who you are, there are two sides of everything, and there are good times and there are bad times. And all the challenges that I've been through in life, not just at STETHS or at Mississippi, but in my life, every single thing that I've been through worked together to make me who I am today. And while there may be some things that I could have handled differently, while there are some things that could have gone in a better light or better way, I do think that those failures that I had, I learned from them. I grow from them. And I can't remember who said this, but they said that I don't lose. I either win or I learn. And that is something that I hold dear to me, and that's something that I practice, because every single thing that I go through in life teaches me something. The moments that I fail, I learned that I could do it differently, or I could improve upon it. So I wouldn't change a thing in that respect. And what was the other question? I lost train of thought. What was
Yeah,
the other
I
question?
say no. In those tough times, where did you go for the inspiration? Because now you have to get through those times. Where did you go? I know you mentioned God, but could you touch a little deeper? Where did you go for that inspiration to overcome and get you where you are? So that you could focus on another chapter.
Yes. Again, aside from the God piece that I mentioned before, I had mentors and I followed people who have been through situations. I learned from people who failed. I learned from people who were going through situations that I had been through, and just in situations in life. And they overcame. And through their methods, through their advice, I learned how to become a stronger person. I learned how to do things differently. I learned how to view my obstacles as learning experiences. So I leaned on other people. I had support all around me. And even when I didn't have support, again, God was there for me. I had to just, I'm going to share something that I went through. I went through a season where I went into isolation for 6 months. I went into
Wow.
isolation for 6 months, and I, aside from going to work and coming home, I took that time to really sit with myself. I took that time to get to know Rochelle. And I took that time to look back on the things that I went through, all my failures, all the things that I did wrong. And I learned how to grow from it. I learned how to, and that's where um, my book was birthed from. That's how I really sat and discover who Rochelle was. So in that moment in time, I decided that I was going to take that time to really reflect, be introspective, and learn how to become a better woman. So that's how I overcame.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. So
Awesome,
right
awesome.
there. Right there, Russell, really, you could not have answered that question better, for me and for the audience. And the fact that that almost walked into the next question I had for you. You know, and, and that was the fact now, that you're able to put together a book, and which I want you to tell us a little bit more about that book. You wrote that book, How God Inspired Me. I see that it is coming from deep. That is depth. And really, I want to know what really inspired you also to write this book. So you could just continue as I get.
Sure. So again, the book is titled Elroy, How God Sees Me. And it is a journey that I went on. It was a journey that built self-esteem, that built self-love, and built confidence through the eyes of God, through the lens of God. And while I'm still on that journey, while I'm still learning, I came a long way. So again, back to that season of isolation that I was in, I went through a tough time previously, a few months prior to that time. I went through a hard situation in my life, and it really reflected to me that I had work to do. It really showed me that, hey, you need to work on your self-esteem. You need to work on loving yourself, and you need to see yourself how God sees you. And how God sees me doesn't reflect a perfect person. It doesn't say Rochelle is perfect. It doesn't say Rochelle doesn't make mistakes. It says that, like the verse says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Because many times, and especially women, men go through it too, but I can only speak from a woman's perspective. We don't see ourselves as worthy. We don't see ourselves as enough. We don't see ourselves as daughters and sons of God. And we accept things in our lives that reflect to us that we are not good, that we are not valuable, that we are this or less than, when we are actually not. And through scripture, and I use the scriptures and God's definition of us as people, and God's definition of me as a woman, to help me to remind myself that, hey, I am here for a purpose. I am valuable. I am loved. I am lovable. And these are some of the things that I put in this book, for not just myself, but for other people to see that, hey, I may make mistakes. I may have made bad choices in life, but God sees me in a way that I can find redemption, and that I'm not just this person that is just less than or worth. Because I do believe that every person have redeemable qualities. So that's kind of where the book came from.
Okay, Ian, thank you very much, Rochelle, for explaining that.
All
Of
right.
course.
Well, well, I could tell you that this conversation is it's getting inspiring, and it's getting really really good. So now, I mean, you wrote a book. As I said, you graduated from college. I want to just, this is now where I want to find out a little bit more about you. So I want to know, like, where do you draw your inspiration? Who inspired you?
Yes, absolutely. Again, I have many. I get inspired by a lot of people, but again, first and foremost, my inspiration, my identity comes from Christ. That's the
Right.
first place where I draw my inspiration. But also, my one of my greatest inspiration comes from my mother. She's no longer with us. She has been gone now for about 15 years. But she was one of the strongest, most nurturing, loving, kind person that I've ever met. And even to this day, who I am and what I work to do comes from her. That energy comes from her. And she was one of the greatest people that I know. And again, my time at STETHS is not just for the broadcast, but just the people that I met, the things in my past. Those things inspire me, along with the people that mentor me now, the people that I follow. So people like, a lot of them are passed on now, but people like Jim Rohn, I listen to Les Brown, who I listen to every day, every morning. I listen to Tony Robbins. I have people in my life at work. This one lady, Miss Charlotte Owens. She's one person who inspires me and helps me in my business. And just family and friends. Those people, every area of my life has something and someone in it that inspires me every day. But most importantly, I have to do everything that I do for myself. Everything comes from within me, and I do things. I love people. I love myself, and I do things to inspire people because I want to become a woman of influence.
Okay, awesome. So when I was reading the book today, as I tell you, I was down in the book, and I was very touched that in the beginning of the book, I believe in the intro, you have, as I said, you have dedicated this book to your mother, and you have dedicated to your dad. I've read the words that you said to your mom and dad, and also I believe there was a special friend that you also meant much to you. Tell us a little bit about, you talk about your mom. Tell us a little bit about your dad, and then a little bit about your best friend. I'll call her your best friend.
Yes. So anyone who knows my dad knows that he's a strict man. He's a very strict man. He's about principle. He's about respect. He's about getting things done. He's about education. He's about ensuring that his children are the best that they can be. He's all about structure. He's all about pushing us in the right direction. So that's kind of where I got my fortitude from. That's where I kind of got my resilience from. That's where I learned principle. That's where I learned discipline. So he played a major role in that area of my life, along with my mom, who was the nurturer, who was the supporter, who was, pretty much the life giver to me. So there were the two sides of the same coin who helped me to become the woman that I am today. And the woman that I mentioned, who is Brigida Barrett, she helped me through a tough time in my life. She helped me to she spoke into my life when no one else could. She helped me. She prayed for me. She prayed with me, and she helped me to get out of a situation that was killing me slowly. So she played a huge role in that period of my life that helped me to get to where I am today. So those are the people that really impacted me.
It's always great, as I said. It's just how you reflect back on your parents and the people that helps you. I got another little question for you that that you could answer to the best that you can. So if you were supposed to give me advice, how exactly do I love myself? What would you tell me?
Yes, sure. So here's what I will say. Self-love is an individual journey. It means different. It means something different to everybody. But my definition of self-love, because love is an action word, right? So it's looking out for your well-being. It is taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So in all different areas of your life, it's It's recognizing when you need to separate yourself from situations, from people. It's also knowing when to walk away from people who are hurting you, because there are plenty of people who stay in situations that, you know, that literally kill them, and kills emotionally, mentally. And it's so the basis of self-love is knowing who you are. It's treating yourself in a way that reflects how God sees you, caring for yourself. It is putting yourself first. It is ensuring that your needs are met, that you're going to self-actualization. So that is just my definition of what self-love is.
All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, I'm loving it. You know, it's always good to hear another perspective, and it's just really awesome you know, to go on. So before we move on to over back to Ian, you know, we know that the book was inspired by your faith, you know, alongside your journey, your different experience. What I was asking you early on, other than well, you told me you listen to Tony Robbins, and you know you listen to a lot of inspirational people. So let's get a little bit in terms of your faith with the Bible. You know, what was one passage that really you know, like helped encourage you during the time of when you was, you know, feeling low?
Yeah, so the passage, it's Psalm that I've mentioned it a few times. That it's on in the beginning of the book. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. That is the basis of the entire book, because it's coming from understanding how God sees me. It's coming from a place that says, hey, God created you in his image, and you need to work on yourself so that you can get out of this programming, this mindset that your experiences have brought you through and brought you into. So you need to begin to see yourself how God sees you. And again, that's the title of the book, and then the scripture piece that comes in, and it's on my wall right now. I see it every morning, and I remind myself of it every single day, that hey, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I wanted every person who read the book to see that first and foremost, because I do believe that all of us are created as fearfully and wonderfully made.
So one more question with the book. Can you remember exactly when that thought came in your head about that topic that I'm going to write about it? That
Yes.
you're going to write a book about it?
Yes. So again, when I came through that tough time in my life, and when I was in that isolation period, where you know, I was telling myself, hey, while I was going through my turmoil and my pain, and I was just in my bathroom one day, and it came to mind that very same the title of the book, how God sees me. I was looking in the mirror, and I was thinking, and it just came to my mind, like, this is what you should title this book that you're going to write, how God sees me. Because I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, who am I? You know, and the things that I was telling myself, I'm like, this is not who I am. I have to filter my thoughts. I have to filter my identity through that scripture. I have to remind myself that, hey, God sees me as this way, regardless of what I've been through. God sees me as this, and I have to adopt that mentality. So that's kind of where it came from.
But just for the viewers, because I see some viewers are asking about where can they get the book from, and you know, and I know the book is on a lot of platforms, but can you just share with the viewers, you know, how can they get this book, and what's the easiest way for them to get the book?
Yes, so it's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. So those are the two places that you can get it from. And if you follow me on Facebook, you will see it all over my page. It's in my bio. It's on my How God Sees Me Facebook page. So yeah, Amazon is the most available place that you can get it.
All right. Well, I found the book on Amazon today, guys. I'm fortunately I am always on Amazon shopping and doing other things. So the book came up, and I do believe the book is under $10. Is that right?
Right.
What?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's for in terms of the book. You know, I'm gonna let Ian. He might have some more questions regarding the book. And then we'll just keep it going in terms of what else are you doing next.
All right. So again, Rochelle, we just want to say thank you for being inspired, and not just being inspired, but also putting this in a book that others can actually read and learn from it. You know, each of us goes through different situation, different journey, and we all have to overcome. But from the book that we have put together, I see it we can apply to all of us in life in some way or the other. And this afternoon, you know, as we speak here, I just want to give a shout out to all the STETHS family that is watching right now, all our viewers who are watching from all over the world. We can see everyone is pretty much interested in that book, and we're happy that we actually give we can find the book, because as I get off here, I know I'm gonna buy two copies, one for my wife and one for me, because we ain't gonna share this book, you know. This is one that can go along with me. But you know, as I listen to you, you know, didn't know you before or anything. All I can do is appreciate it. As again, I'll go back to it. It's just positive energy. The energy that you bring. You know, you're bringing a serious kind of energy, real positive, deep positive energy that you're bringing. And even on your Facebook page, I realize what you share, everything you share there, it's just positive. Positivity, that's what you stand for. You know, positivity. And I'm just gonna go to where you had shared a post here that you said, we were never created to live like depressed, defeated, guilty, condemned, ashamed, or unworthy. We were basically created to be victorious. That was a powerful little note that you shared there. I don't know where that came from, but that was powerful, meant a lot to me personally. But then I realized, you know, you were not just victorious. You know, 'cause I introduced you as the champion athlete. I introduced you as an author, and also I realized you were not just victorious on the field. You were not just victorious in terms of triumphing, overcoming. You know, but also I realized that you've been a very successful businesswoman. You know, as a matter of
Okay,
fact,
I'm sorry to cut you, but I have to. For some reason, my phone is going to die. I have to get it plugged up, so I'm gonna run to get my charger. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't know
when
that.
I
Yeah,
get the chance, we ain't
yeah,
going nowhere.
we'll be still here. Just go get your charger. Yeah, we'll be still
Okay.
here. Yeah,
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 it's a wonderful conversation here, Ian. You know, you know, we're so happy to have Rochelle on here. You know, really, we can see she's really a powerful lady who seems to inspire daily. In her words, her action, her deeds, we can get it, and we feel that energy. I know you're feeling the same energy, Ian.
yes, guys. I mean, I am looking at. I wish I could get this thing here to show you guys, but this book here is. I said I spent about 30 minutes today reading the book, and you know, I was just fascinated. I just really wanted to let me see what this book about. So yeah, it was just very good. Yeah, it was just very good to see that the book is so powerful, and I'm pretty sure, you know, I am definitely gonna get a hard copy of the book thing. Yeah, we look. I've just got a message that we're having some audio issue in and out. So we just want to make sure that our audio is, you know, is you know, is nice and clear. You know, so yeah. But just for the viewers, that I said, if you can't hear, just let me know, because we want to make sure that you get a good audio. So going
Eh,
back, as I said, the book
I
is
think
so
they're saying it's
powerful.
my speaker.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, I said the book is so powerful, and I'm just proud of this young lady. I'm gonna have to ask her when she get back, you know, what she has in store, in terms of if she have any books that she's, you know, because she on a destiny, she on this journey that I do believe that she's, you know, she's, as you said, she's gonna be the best version of herself, and I see I see those in her books and products and things like that. So we just want to we just want to make sure that yeah. So I just got a message that the audio is good now. So you know, we're
Yes,
excited
guys.
about that.
Yeah. If you're hearing me, guys, let me know if you guys are hearing me clearly too.
Okay.
My wife is
Yeah.
downstairs and she's listening. Nikki?
Yeah. So guys, yeah, so we're saying the audio is okay now. So yeah. So yeah, so back to her. I also want to talk a little bit about her sister that also went to Mississippi State. You know, I did some more research and digging, and also paved the way for her. So I wanted to talk with her a little bit
Is,
about
is my
the
audio
relationship
okay?
that she has with her sister who was
Okay.
a student during that time. Yeah. So yeah, guys. So thank you for the feedback. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Audio is working very clear and good. So Ian, I think you know. So based on what you hear so
Rochelle is back,
far,
Ian. Ian, see if you bring back Rochelle in. She's back.
yeah, when she come on, I should see her once you get back on.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
All right,
All right. Yeah.
Rochelle.
Yeah, so I was just sharing a little bit too regarding your sister that you know I know that since she was older than you and you was coming right behind her, I know that she, you know, definitely has to play a role or some influence on you. You know, can you just tell us a little bit about your relationship with your sister?
Absolutely, absolutely. So she's 3 years older than I am. So again, we went to every school, primary, high,
Yeah.
basic, primary, high school, college. We went to every single school together. So pretty much, as you mentioned earlier, she pretty much paved the way. She made it a lot easier since she was already there before me. So everything that happened at school, I heard about it when she came home, even before I went to STETHS. So it was a situation where, you know, I was tagging along behind her everywhere. So she made that experience for me a lot better, a lot easier. So I'm grateful for that. She did that for me, and I will be forever grateful for that experience.
Okay. Well, guys, I want her sister to hear her, and I want her sister to know that look, we didn't forget about her. We thank you for nurturing her and supporting her, and I'm sure that you guys have a great support system that you have for each other. So I'm going to get into a little bit now, also a little bit more about you in terms of I know that you draw inspiration from Tony Robbins and, you know, things. When it comes down to music, how much music has influenced you, and who do you draw any inspiration from in music?
Well, the music that I listen to is purely for entertainment. Honestly, I am a old school R&B kind of girl. I mean, I love obviously reggae. I love the old school reggae. But since I moved to the US, I've gone into several different genres of music. So I am an old school girl. I'm a Temptations kind of girl. I'm Anita Baker kind of girl. That's the music that I listen to, and the kind of music that's the kind of music that touches something deep within you that the music these days, that rap and all this music cannot reach. So I am an old soul, actually. I'm an old school kind of person, and that kind of inspired me to relax, because fun and relaxation is also a part of life. It's not just work. It's not just accomplishments, but it's also a part of life that you need to just to just relax and enjoy yourself. So that's kind of what it does for me.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I got a few more questions about, you know, your future plans and where you're going to be in the next 10 years and your goal and all that. So think about that. But before we get to that, we want to also let the viewers know about what else are you doing. You know, I just know that you got beautiful hair. So can you tell us a little secret about the hairline, and just to let us know a little bit about that part of your career that you're into?
I love you.
Yeah, baby.
Absolutely, yes. I'm the owner of, it's called Africa Naturals, but my blog is Afro Kinky Hair. It's all over Facebook. My Facebook page is also Afro Kinky Hair, and I started Afro Kinky Hair back in 2016, and back in 2015 was when I decided to go back to my natural hair because I had relaxed hair for about 10 years prior to that decision. So that's where it all started. That's where it originated, and I started that blog as a means to document my personal journey, and it turned into influencing others. It turned into me starting these hair care products in my kitchen. That's kind of where it started from, and I started, dabbling in my own hair and creating things that was working for me. And my friends wanted to try it, family wanted to try it, and they loved it. And after a while, people wanted to buy my stuff because it was really helping my hair. And that's kind of where the idea came from, and it has grown and has flourished since then, and it's still growing now. And I'm very grateful to everyone who has supported it and everyone who will support it in the future. But hair care has been a staple in my life, and I use my blog and my products to help other women to have beautiful hair. So
let me ask you a question. Do you have anything for guys? I'm losing my hair. Um, so I'm trying to figure out if you have any product for males that we could take care of our hair too.
well, I mean, not necessarily, but I mean, I have this hair growth oil that I formulated that works for any hair, but I don't. You can try it. I don't know if it will work for you, but
Yeah, I got something for him, man. Don't worry.
So pretty much, I know that obviously because male got long ears too, and I know obviously I think my hair growing days are over. But obviously your product is just specialized for females only. Your hair product.
So it's targeting it is created for African American women.
Okay.
Specifically, that's my target market, because I have natural hair, so I know what works for it, and so I created products specifically for African American hair.
Okay. All right, Ian. I'm not going to ask any more questions about the hair since you got something that you didn't tell me about. So I see. You just want me to wear my hat, so I see how you do it.
Don't worry. We don't give away all the secret one day, the over period. Yep. So Rochelle, I'm coming back to you. So I know you really have more than one business. As I say, you're a successful businesswoman, which we like you to tell us a little more about the other part of the business, because we all seem to learn about it here from just looking at you. Everybody would ask about it. Cause you always wear such I'd say a bossy hairstyle. You act like can see that hairstyle from a distance. I know the ladies that are watching, whoever go on your page, that's one of the first things that stand out. People, their hair, their face, their teeth is what stand out. And forget about the other part. The guys, we know that part. We keep that silent. But these are some of the main features of a woman that really stand out. And I just want to say, you wear your hair well. Whatever you're doing is working well. My wife is going to be a customer, so I could say that big and loud, because she's into natural hair. She's natural beauty, natural hair, and all the kids she's bringing up just the same way. No, everything from nature, put it that way. So we wanted to share about the other business also, and also to tell us what it takes to be a successful businesswoman. I know, you coming from STETHS, there are a lot of people who have choose business as a career field. Can you just tell them some of the challenges? Because people think it's just easy, just starting a business, so you could walk us through some of the challenges, after telling us about the business that you have and what it takes to really make it as a successful businesswoman.
Absolutely. Okay, so my other business venture is called Sweets Up Apothecary, and of course, being from Jamaica, sweets up one of my favorite fruits. So I
Okay.
integrated that into the name. But what it is actually is a skincare product company. So I create luxury, handmade soaps, bath bombs, body butters, lip balms. So just everything for the body and the face. That's what the company is about. It creates different products to maintain beauty and to have for the ladies who love to have a spa day. I have products for all of your skincare needs. So that's pretty much what the company covers.
Okay, great.
And I'm sorry.
No, you guys said great, great.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were going to say something, but yes. But in terms of what it takes to be successful in business, and again, success. I will say this: success is subjective. Success is an individual measurement for every person. Success varies. It could be money for one person, it could be growth for one person, it could be something totally different. But in terms of what it takes to be successful in an area, my definition of success is what Earl Nightingale says. It's success is a progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. And to be successful, you have to first and foremost know who you are and what you want. You have to conjure up a goal. You have to have a dream. And Mr. Thomas and I were talking about this one thing on my the post that I put on my status was what Nelson Mandela said. A winner um, a winner is a person with a dream, is a dreamer who never quits, who never gives up, right? So you have to have that resilience. You have to have that fortitude. You have to, of course, get into something that creates value because that's the basis of business. You have to create value. It's all about value. You get paid based on the value you provide to a company. And in the same way, a business has to provide value. So if you have something that provides value, and based on the amount of value that you provide, then that's how you can scale your business. That's how you can grow as a business in business. But again, you have to become a person. You have to become a person. You have to have the mindset that you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to work hard. It's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, you have to know your why. You have to know why you are doing this, and you have to consistently work at what you're trying to accomplish because, again, there are going to be many failures, there are going to be many obstacles, there are going to be things just plain don't work out. And you're going to have to be flexible in the sense that, hey, it didn't work this way, so I'm going to do it this way. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time and it's going to take effort and it's going to take support, and you can't do it by yourself. You have to find people who support you. You have to find people who motivate you. And if you can't find people who motivate you, find it somewhere. If it's not someone in your life, go online, find someone who you can learn from, find mentors, and just understand that you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have things that may deter you, but you have to stay focused, and you have to be a person of principle, and you have to be a person of discipline. So that's just the basis of what you need to do and who you need to be.
Powerful, very powerful. All right, Ian, anything there, Ian?
Yeah, yep, yep. I'm still seeing these guys. They're going back to the here thing. Richie Innocent. He got. He might. He probably gonna put an order in for some ear products, or I'm not sure. But he he's still on the hair product thing. He's saying that I want to get locked. So I mean, I wish that could happen, but I believe that as Paul Steve said, I need prayers. So I would, I'm gonna take that with prayers. And
But
America could happen.
I have
But
have a family, sir. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Yeah. But just to go back to everything, I love myself the way I am. I
That's good.
I wouldn't change anything about myself. Even when I used to have hair, I used to cut it off. You know. So with that said and done, I'm open for advice and from any of my friends that knows me. So let's move on a little bit more because we know time is going. So now we just wanted to know what's a typical day like for you. I see you as a successful, driven person. So how do you balance work, personally, and then find time to do your products. What's a typical day for you?
Yes, absolutely. So, for those who don't know, I'm also a banker by career by day. So I have a very packed day. I work a lot. I am very busy. So I will be up at sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier, depending on when I went to bed the night before. So I am an early riser. And I will, if I have work, I have to answer emails, then I'll get that done in the morning before I actually head to my 9 to 5. And and even some mornings I do wake up super early to get some products done to be shipped out before I even go to work. So I will get that done, and I will go to work all day, and I will come home. I will do my relaxation. I'll go to the gym because that's a very important part of my life. Taking care of myself. I will do that, and I will come home, and then if I have work to do, I will get that done. If I have to promote stuff, I will get to working on that. So I have a pretty full day until I go to bed again. So it takes a lot. It's a lot of work.
All right, all right. Well, I could co-sign that. I know that yeah, with balancing family, work, and other things that we might, we want to be successful in. And as you have stated before, that success for everybody is different. Success is for me is to set my mind out to something that I want to do and accomplish it. Or just work towards it. And that sometimes it could be it not related to money. It could be I know in track and field, I still try to run a mile in a certain time. I set those little things, and I consider, myself, set my goals and achieve it. So I feel like I'm successful with what I want to do, to able to do what I want to do. So we're happy for you with the way you're balancing your work and your career. So now, so some of the young generation, that's watching this program, and they might be going to school or they might be in sports, and what advice would you want to share with some of the younger generation or anybody that may need it?
Sure, absolutely. So there are many things, but I would say that um, find out what it is that you want to do. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who don't co-sign. It doesn't matter who don't agree. As long as it's legal, as long as it's something that you want to do and something that you're good at and that provides value, then if that's something that you want to do, focus on it. Find people who have walked the path that you want to walk, and find inspiration in that area. For my people, if any from STETS, from the track team, hey, I've been there and it was a great journey. So if track and field is something that you want to do, and because you can get a lot out of it, scholarships, you can travel the world. If this is something that you want to do, take it seriously. Listen to your coach, listen to your teachers as well, and find a balance between school and track and field. And work on the friendships that you can at school, because those are very important. I wish I had done it more, but that time has passed for me. But for you, that will help you and that will take you places, because you will have that support in life. But whatever you're doing, put God first and foremost, and know who you are, know who you want to be, and focus on your goals and what you want to accomplish. So that would be my three little steps and advice that I would give.
Okay. Well said. I mean, it's right down the alley of of what I'm hearing repeatedly, from different sources, on thing. So my other question to you before I turn it over to Ian is, what you do in your free time. I know that we're all business, and it's always good to work, but we know that we gotta balance work and just to enjoy some of your work. What do you,
Right.
since I know you said you are outdoor lover, what are you, what some of the things you do in your free time that you like to do?
Sure. Yes, so I love outdoors, so I hike. I just went on a hike last weekend, but my last big hike, I went to Puerto Rico back in January
Wow.
to hike. So I love hiking. I love traveling. Dancing is something that I love as well. So you'll find me anywhere, salsa dancing, anywhere, Jamaica dance hall, any kind of you will. I love dancing. So that's something I do in my free time. I will meet up with friends. We go to the park. Just I love outdoors. Anything outdoors, you will find me there. So going to the beach, hiking, biking, running, stuff like that. I really enjoy the outdoors.
Okay, awesome. All right, Ian, let you come on in.
All right, Rochelle, I ain't gonna let you get away now because I know a little sneak peek. Because I know a part of it, that hobby is writing, and I know you have another book coming out. We haven't heard any mention of it, so there's another book in the making, guys. So we're gonna get that out. Rochelle, if she can even just give us a hint of the name that is gonna be. But before we go there, Rochelle, and I have Richie Innocent on here. He's also looking already for advice to write a book. So I see that Richie Innocent is planning on writing a book. I really had put together a few of your photos, which have showed that video, and have Richie Innocent, the great dub poet, in the background doing his thing. And as I said, that mean a hit. It's over 6,000 people that view it. So I see you and Richie already in collaboration just by the energy both of you together, and we see what is happening. So, so I see that Richie gonna need a book coming up. So you gotta work on that. But just tell us a little bit more about this book that is in the making.
Sure. So it is this book that I'm writing right now. It's almost done. So it is about the basics and the basics of natural hair and how to care for natural hair, because I get a lot of questions from women asking me, hey, how do you grow your hair? What do you do? What kind of products can I use? I have a hair loss issues. How can I fix this? So I get tons of questions regarding natural hair and, how to grow it, how to maintain it. Because believe it or not, and even in the States here, many women don't know how to care for their natural hair because they were taught that their hair is bad, that straight hair is beautiful, that, the weaves and the wigs and stuff like that. And while I have nothing against that at all, if it works for you, it works for you. But if a woman doesn't know how to care for her hair, then she's gonna have issues. And so I've had tons of questions, and that's why I'm putting it into a book. I have tons of stuff already on my blog about hair, but in this book I'm gonna share how I grew my hair, the techniques and the tips, and the products that I use to get my hair to where it is today. So it's just an in-depth book of, hey, how can I help you to have better hair? So the title I can't share yet, so that's just
we got you.
that's just yeah.
All
right, that's awesome, guys. Yeah.
So Richie Innocent, Ian, it is on the fence there, but we just want to let the audience know that next week at 9 p.m. sharp, which is Eastern Standard Time. So the US here, but Jamaica would be like 8 p.m. We'll be bringing on Richie Innocent, also the great dub poet, and we realize, he's a powerful influencer too, right outside of states there, Richie Innocent, the footballers would love Richie Innocent because he always have a song every year for our football team, you know. So we're looking forward to see Richie Innocent next week, 9 p.m. So viewers, we want to have you back here to listen to Richie Innocent. And I'm going to turn it back to Ian. And I just want to say thank you, Rochelle, for being on the platform. Thank you for sharing in your journey. Thank you for being such a positive influence. You have really hit us deep to the depth, with your energy, and also at the end here with the ladies, that watching the here. There's nothing like beauty, and guess what? We got something for them. So, we really want to thank you for coming on. This is one of the reasons why we do this. We have this platform that we could share, because there's many of us, over the years we have separated from each other. We've gone our own way, but to come back here and share each other's journey, what we are doing. It is just such a positive move. And I really appreciate it. I'm glad that Eian was able to say, "Hey, let's do this together, Eian and Eian." And so far, I'm loving it. I'm here on the platform, but I'm loving it. So I really just want to put it back to the man himself, Mr. Eian, or Olympian. Take it away, my brother.
Yeah. Well, that's that, guys. We're so happy that we was able to bring this program to you, to learn a little bit about hair product, and to also get an author, that in person, just to give you some of our inspirational word. So what I want to do, we couldn't leave this program without. We know that you have another book coming out, but I know you're a young lady, and your best life is ahead of you. Where do you see yourself now in the next 10 years? Where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing? I mean,
Yes, of course.
what other you got?
I mean, I am an author and I enjoy writing, so I see more books in the future. I see I'm a businesswoman, and I believe that I've always been that way. Looking back right now, I can see where the entrepreneurial spirit came from. So I do believe that that will be a continuation into my future. I can't say specifically what it will be broken down step by step as yet, but I see more books. I see more products. I see building a platform of influence, because I do believe that there's a gap where influence and positivity is needed. So I see myself going down that path to influence others, to motivate others. So I'm just keeping it all open. I'm just having fun. I'm just putting it out there and see what happens.
All right, awesome. So do any of your plans? Do you see yourself do anything over in Jamaica? I know you still got a lot of family over in Jamaica, and I know that obviously are you able to get your products? Do you do that in Jamaica, like trying to get your products over there, or what do you have any plans of doing anything back in Jamaica?
So yes, as it is right now, I just started shipping to Canada. So in terms of Jamaica, I haven't had the details written out in terms of, hey, I'm still working on it. I haven't had the concrete details in terms of how I'm going to get it over there and in what stores and if so on and so forth. I'm working on here first, getting it in stores here first, and then seeing how I can transition that over to Jamaica. But that is in the cards.
Okay. Well, I'm really looking forward to see your product in Walmart, and Target and all those.
Soon, hopefully.
In all those stores, because the time is coming. So one other question I have for you, and we couldn't leave this program about mention something about food. I know that we deal with the hair. Yeah, that's how important does the diet play a role in terms of how healthy your hair is, or it's just from the outside in? What about from the inside out?
Oh, the inside out is paramount. It is very important, because you are what you eat. Your skin your hair, it's all from the inside. And while we can do things from the outside to maintain and retain, hair growth happens from within, because hair growth starts from the follicle inside of the scalp. So you have to have a healthy diet. Exercise helps, but honestly, the majority of hair growth and type and texture comes from genetics. So I'm gonna be honest with that. The type, your hair type, growth rate, all comes from genetics. But at the end of the day, what you eat, how you take care of your body, how you take care of yourself, plays an important role in how your hair, how your skin, everything overall, how it plays out, how it looks. So you have to take care of yourself from the inside out.
Okay, awesome. So can you share with us? I know how you manage to keep your physique in terms of what's your favorite meal? What would you what eating like for you in terms of are you greens? Are you don't have any special routine?
So I'm gonna be honest. I do not have a specific. Well, here's what I'll say though. I cook primarily. Let me say that I don't eat out that much. I cook most of my stuff. That's how I was raised. So I cook all of my meals. And when I get too busy, and then I'll go get a salad or eat something healthier on the outside. But I try to stay away from the usual sweet stuff, the carbs and stuff like that. And I try to stick to the Jamaican food, the yams, the potatoes, chicken, stuff like that. And I try to stay away from fried foods and stuff like that. So it's nothing specific, but it's just eliminating certain things from my diet.
Okay, well, awesome, guys. Well, as I said, we get to know a little bit more about what life is like for you, and I know that I will definitely go back and listen to your program and just listen to you again. We really enjoy you. I really would love for you to come back and visit us when you going to do the next book, so we could learn some more from you. We believe that this next book going to be powerful, so we'd love for you to come back with us and share about your book whenever the time comes. Just let us know. We'll see afterwards if there's anything we could do for you when you're doing your book. I believe and trust with all my heart that you're destined for greatness, and with your spirituality and with your competitiveness, and with your past and all the discipline that you have learned from an early age. I believe now that now will set you up for the future. So I'm gonna turn it over to Ian for any final words, and then I'll say a final word, and then we'll close the program.
Well, Rochelle, as I said, it was a pleasure having you. And I just want to say that you have run a good race. Thus far you have run a good race, and we realize that it's not over. There's a lot more to come. And Rochelle, I'm not gonna let you go. I'm the problem child, and you're gonna get to know me. I'm the problem child. So I want you to turn back a little bit and let them see the back of the hair, because it's just out there looking so good. Let's see what's there.
Well, I'll show you a little bit. Hold on. So
it's all natural, guys. That's it. Yep. That's it. My wife loves to see that. That's why you do it. She just loves to see her natural hair. See that every day she feels it's growing. It's growing. But it's amazing. I just love natural hair.
Yes,
I love seeing it. Thank you so much,
but before I go, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Say what you gotta say. Let us know.
No, I was gonna say before I go, I want to thank you guys for having me on. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I am very grateful for the support from not just you, but everybody, the STETHS family, and even people who are not in the STETHS family who have supported me. My teachers at STETHS, every one of you guys have played an integral role in who I am today. My friends, other people who have interacted, the grounds people, the tuck shop people, everybody. I'm grateful for you guys, and I thank you all for the support and the love. So just I'm grateful. Thank you.
All right, guys. So we are coming to the end of another episode of Real Talk with Ian and Ian. Today's guest in studio was Rochelle Farquharson. She's a writer, entrepreneur, blogger who motivates women to practice self-love, self-care, and inspire women to embrace their natural God-given beauty and help women improve their hair and skin care practice. With all said and done, as she said, if you like to learn and know more about her, you can follow her on Facebook. She has and she has done plenty of blogs. You could follow her, or you could contact me, and I'll make the connect. So with that said and done, we're gonna end today's broadcast, and we're just gonna say from the bottom of our heart, we thank you for your time. We thank you for just sharing some of your journey from STETHS back to now. And as I said, we're just excited, and we hope to talk to you in the future again. So that's said and done. Thank you again. All right. All right.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers. All right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye. All right, Ian. We got this beautiful background, St. Elizabeth Technical Lawn that we're looking at today. And so we're just so happy that we can always find a way to let and for the viewers that doesn't know, St. Elizabeth Technical High School, it's based in Santa Cruz, Jamaica. So we're going to let you know. I know we keep talking about this school, but this school is based in Santa Cruz, a little town in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. So just to let you update you for that. So with that said and done, Ian, any final words?
Just a wonderful afternoon, man. I wake up this morning, and I'm telling you, I wake up with this positive energy. I knew this interview would have been an amazing one. Simple, just touching, and really to everyone that who had listened today, they would have walked away with something from this interview. And that's what I love about this platform. Is that we bring everybody something. There's something here for somebody. There's a little nugget for everyone that comes on the platform. And we just appreciate our viewers, our listeners, and we just gotta get better each day. Because as we grow, we learn and we help each other. So that's about it. One day.
All right. Well, thank you so much, man. I'm looking forward to see you for tonight's on the program at the 9 o'clock. So guys, please join us back at 9 o'clock. It's gonna be another great episode. It's gonna be one of the first medalists for Jamaica in the shot put, and she definitely has a great story, and she'll be on the platform with her husband. So we hope to borrow your support tonight at 9 o'clock, and and here Rochelle has posted the blog for all the viewers that are on the chat. So thank you so much, Rochelle. And again, we're gonna end the broadcast, and we will see you back in approximately 2 hours. Thank you.